Hello everyone, welcome to Part 7 US Residency and Match. I'm Dr. Viswanath Aluru from Auctioner Health. I'm an attending physician in physical medicine and rehabilitation. In this video, we will discuss about preparation for the interview. Once you have submitted your ERAS application, you have to keep checking your ERAS inbox into which all the communication messages from the programs go into. So once you have received an email or a message from a program saying that we are interested in scheduling an interview with you, you jump right on, you grab your phone, call the program to schedule that interview as soon as possible. Because the programs do not want to wait too long. If you tell the program you're going to get back to the program or you need some more time to decide on the interview date, they might move on and give that option to someone else. So you don't want to miss that opportunity. So go ahead and schedule that interview. So you lock the interview date first. If you have any conflict in the future, then you can call the program again to reschedule it or to change it or cancel it. But you need to jump right on and lock that interview date. That's the first thing you need to do. And once you have scheduled, you need to understand that having one or two interviews doesn't mean that you have no chance of getting into your residency. And at the same time, having 20 or 30 interviews doesn't mean that your residency spot is already reserved. Same thing goes with the USMLE scores. If your USMLE scores are low or more modest, or if you have attempts on USMLEs, it doesn't mean that you have no chance of getting into your residency program. At the same time, if you have like a high 99s or high 3-digit scores like 260s on USMLEs, it doesn't mean that your residency spot is already reserved for you. So please don't be under that impression. So you have to know that now instead of competing with like thousands of applicants, now you're only competing with like maybe less than 100 applicants in that residency program after you receive the interview call. So that's the good news. Congratulations. And you have already achieved the most important step in this residency application process. By this time, the programs already have some idea about who you are, where are you coming from, and what are your interests, what are you bringing to the residency program. And now the ERAS has introduced a new feature called program signaling for the past couple of years. It means that you can actually tell the program that, hey, I'm interested to actually do my residency in your program. I'm not just coming for the interview, but I'm genuinely interested in your program. So the program will get some idea about who are those candidates who are genuinely interested in our program. So depending on your specialty, you have like 5 to 10 program signaling options. So you can signal to 5 programs or 10 programs, but you have to check with the ERAS to see how many programs you can signal to. So that will give the program some idea about your genuine interest in the program. At the same time, you need to do your own homework, your research about the program, about the department that you're going interview for. Who is the chairman, who is the program director, who are the attending physicians, who are the chief residents. Are there anything special about the department, any research projects going on in the department that you want to discuss about? So you need to have a clear idea about the program. Please just don't blindly go and attend the interview. Okay, and also you should clearly, thoroughly prepare for all the important topics that you have mentioned in your CV or in your ERAS application, any programs or any projects that you're working on, so that so when they ask you some questions during the interview, you should be able to clearly talk about those points. That's also very important that you should be prepared. And the most important thing is you should know about the interview agenda, like what's going to happen. So after this pandemic, most of the interviews have turned into virtual, but there are some interviews now they're changing back to in person. So if it is a virtual interview, be prepared for the interview day. Make sure you have a good laptop, good power cord, good internet connection. Make sure that your family knows that you have an important day in your life. So you should have a secluded place for yourself to complete the interview process successfully, all those things. But if you're going for an in-person interview, know the agenda. Or they're planning for like a pre-interview dinner with the residents, what time you should attend, and what's the interview day looks like, who are your interviewers, and those things. Because you do not want to miss a pre-interview dinner with the residents, or you do not want to go late to the morning report or the presentation from the program director on the interview day. It doesn't look good on you. So you should definitely attend those things. Make sure you reach the interview place the day before, not on the day of the interview, so that you get some good rest, you familiarize with the place, and so you get prepared. In regards to the important documents, you carry your up-to-date CV, and make sure that you have a professional attire, look professional, look sharp, and make sure that you carry any research projects, anything that you want to show the program director to improve your chances of getting into the program. So those are the things you usually carry with you. On the day of the interview, usually it starts with like a morning report, morning presentation from the program director about the program. So make sure you reach there like at least 10-15 minutes before, so that you're not trying to find the place in the last minute. Once the presentation is over, they will invite you to go to the morning report, so that you can interact with the resident to see how the didactics go between the resident and the program director or the chairman. After that, they will have interviews, usually between program director, chairman, at least two attending physicians or one attending physician and one chief resident. There will be 4 or 5 people who will be interviewing on that day. So each and every interview is important, because each and every person is going to rank you. They have like a scoring sheet that they are going to present to program director at the end of the interview day. So make sure that you treat each and every interview as important components for the rest of the day. So you need to embrace 4 important qualities, like be eager, be enthusiastic, be excited, and be empathetic. That's what you need to embrace. And you need to refuse 4 Ds. So don't be disappointed, don't be discouraged, don't be distracted, don't be rejected. Because even though if there are some times on your CV, or there are some gaps in your application, so you're not going to worry about all those things in that moment. You have to live in the moment, you have to leave a good impression. So that's the goal for the interview day. So forget about the rest of the things, forget about the outcome of the interview. So you have to give your best performance on the interview. That's your goal. So at this point, the interviews are not going to ask you too many questions about your attempts on your exams or any gaps in your CV. They're not going to ask you about, glucose metabolism or Krebs cycle or sodium potassium channels or cardiac physiology, those kind of things. What they're looking for in the candidates is the attitude, the dedication, hardworking nature, time management, conflict resolution, being able to work in a team, being able to get things done, being able to uplift other people, effective communication with the patient, family members, being empathetic. So those are the kind of things they're looking for. So this is what you need to show to the program that you can achieve. And they might ask you some questions about what's an interesting case, or what's an interesting situation, how you handled it, what are your strengths and weaknesses, how can you overcome the stress, how can you manage the stress or long hours, those kind of things. So be prepared to answer those kind of things. Okay, so your ultimate goal is, at the end of the interview day, you need to leave an everlasting impression on the program, on the program director. Even after you leave that place after the interview, they should keep thinking about you. They should think, this is the candidate I want in my program. So that's that kind of impression that you have to leave on the program. And once you leave the program, as soon as you go to your hotel room or airport, make sure that you take a note of all the important things that happened on the interview day, the people that you met, their names, and all the things that you learned, because all the positives and negatives of the program. Because when you're preparing your rank order list, which we're going to discuss in the next video, these are the things that you have to consider to rank those programs appropriately. So please take a note. Not only that, once you go home in the next at least 2-3 days, you might want to send a thank you letter to the program director and all the interviewers, saying that you really enjoyed the interview and you learned a lot about the program. Please write personalized letters. Don't copy and paste standard templates. It doesn't look good. So that's why this information will help you to write a personalized letter. Thank the program coordinators, because they work really hard in the background to get your application to the application reviewers. Make sure that to schedule an interview, so they work really hard. So make sure you thank the program coordinators, the program directors, chairman, attendings, chief residents, so that you're in the good books. So with this, I'm going to end this video about the interview preparation. In the next video, we're going to talk about preparing your rank order list and how the match process goes. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Good luck.